All right, doing summer league. Basically, kind of giving a summer league. They've all played their first 4 or 5 games. Gotten a good look at most all the players. I'm just gonna kind of give you kind of a prediction for the summer league playoff, and then also I'll just kind of talk about each team and the good players that they have on it that you'll probably see on an NBA roster this season, or you'll see them playing good for their team in the G League. The main summer league is the Las Vegas Summer League. Only 24 teams are there though. There's a couple of teams that don't make it to summer league. Some of those teams that don't make it to summer league, Orlando Magic, and Orlando, they were a team that Orlando, they had Derek Walton Jr., a pretty good point guard from Michigan, Hassan Martin from Rhode Island, Jalen Jones. Jalen Jones is actually playing on another team though, in the Las Vegas Summer League. Jonathan Isaac is another standout that they had. He was their lottery pick in the draft. Kalen Lucas had a pretty good time there. Josh Gray, Marcus Georges Hunt, Matt Costello played a little bit of time for them. He's playing for the T Wolves in the Las Vegas Summer League. That's another thing. Some of these guys that played in this first one, they'll go to other Summer League teams, showcase themselves. Presmith Karnowski had a good game for Orlando. He's there. Wesley Awundalo, he's also there. Patrice Garino. They also have and that's Orlando. Oklahoma City. Dakari Johnson was real good. Daniel Hamilton had some good was good at times. Dylan Ennis is a much older player than a lot of these guys, but he's a rookie out of Oregon. Josh Hustis was one of OKC's best players. Marcus Page was playing for them, but he's playing for Timberwolves now in the Las Vegas Summer League. Samaj Christian was good at the time. Terrence Ferguson, their first round pick, he didn't play in the tournament. Canyon Berry was playing for the Knicks a little bit. He did all right. Let's see here. I didn't see much of Frank. I didn't see a lot of Frank, uh, their rookie that they got 8th overall. He didn't play any. I didn't see him play any. And then let's see here. Also for the Knicks, they waived Plumlee. Not a bad, not bad. I didn't think Plumlee was that great. I'm not real high on the Plumlees. Chasen Randall had a lot of turnovers, but he scored a lot of points. Demay Dotson, he played better throughout it. Jamel Artis, he showed promise. Luke Cornett hit a lot of big threes. He showed promise. Nigel Hayes didn't do awesome, but he's a good player. Rather Mays, and then Ojan Jamaraz from Megalek, Serbia. He's a good player. I liked him. We'll see what he can do. He's on the Knicks. He was on the Knicks. I think he's on a different team than that though, for the Las Vegas Summer League. The Heat. Bam Adebayo was probably one of the most dominant players from this tournament. Jean Clavel from Colorado State. Eric Mika, BYU. Two guys that didn't really do a whole lot, but two good players. Justin Robinson out of Monmouth. London Parentas from Virginia. He's had a pretty good tournament thus far. Miami's actually in Las Vegas. Matt Williams at UCF. He's had a pretty good summer league. Orca White had a really good summer league in Orlando. He hadn't played as much in the Las Vegas Summer League. Very good talent. Sebastian Saiz's seen him a little bit. Zach Augustine's seen him some. Two big men that are pretty good. Indiana has Jarnell Stokes. Jarnell Stokes had some good games for them for when he was over at Indiana for summer league. He came over and he's playing for I think Portland now in summer league. and he's had a couple of good plays. Joe Young, another good player for the Pacers. We'll see him. Naz Long, he's came over. I think he's playing for the Kings in this Las Vegas Summer League. TJ Leaf, first round pick. He showed a little bit of promise. He didn't get to play a whole lot. Travis Leslie, someone that was real good for Indiana in the Orlando Summer League, and he's playing in the Las Vegas Summer League. Had a couple of good games. Jordan Lloyd, another guy that's playing in the summer league. Georges Niang went down with a knee or ankle injury on one of the first couple of days. Chris Johnson's playing for the Rockets in summer league. He's having a real good, pretty good season. He is one of the older players though. Ben Moore out of SMU was also on the Pacers. The Pistons had honestly a really good summer league from Luke Kennard, their first round pick, and their first round pick last year, Henry Ellison. Eric Moreland, he got a contract. He did real good. Des Wells, Derek Willis, two other guys from college. If you watch college, you might have heard of them. Lorenzo Brown, a lot older than a lot of these guys. He had a pretty good summer league, which is expected. Michael Benajay, Mike Toby, Pierre Jackson. Pierre Jackson, I feel like has been on is like one of the top G League players for the last 5 or 6 years, and he. And I feel like he's ready to make a roster spot. And then Mavs won the summer league in Orlando. Brandon Paul had a couple of good games. He's playing for the Cavs summer league team now. Cat Barber, he got injured later. He was playing good. Christian Wood, he's playing for a different summer league team now, but he had a couple of good buckets. Brandon Ashley, good screens. He's playing in the summer league for Dallas. Dallas is in the summer league. Ding. I like to call him Crash Ding. This Chinese guy, he coming over from China. He plays really hard. I honestly, the crowd is really loving him. I honestly think he'll get a roster spot on either a G League team, just because of the fans like him and stuff. Dwayne Buckets from Marquette. He was the best scorer for them in Orlando. I don't think they even brought him over to the Las Vegas G League. The Las Vegas Summer League because he kind of showed out in this early summer league. Jamel Warney, another good player from Stony Brook. Jonathan Motley had some good plays. Keith Hornsby from LSU. Luis Montero, pretty young player, straight out of high school. A couple years back, we'll see. He's playing. I think he was playing for somebody else yesterday. So we'll see about him. And then last team. Johnny O'Bryant played very well for the Hornets out of LSU a couple years back. Malik Monk didn't play at all in the summer league. Mangyong Mathiang from Louisville, he played a little bit. Quentin Stevens from Georgia Tech. Rashid Suleiman, Taj Webster, Trevion Graham. Some good players. None of those guys really showed out. Johnny O'Brien was the only one that really showed out, and Dwayne Bacon had a real good game. Some other good players, Anthony Gill playing for the Cavs Summer League team, Briante Weber, another good player, and Gabe York, I think he's playing for the Lakers Summer League team in Las Vegas. So now on to Las Vegas. So the playoffs are set. The top 8 teams get a bye, and they're waiting to play the matchup between these other 2 teams. Now, they have it. These first round matchups, I see some good games in the first round matchups, and then going to the second round matchups, these top 8 teams are honestly the best summer league teams. A couple of days ago, when I was thinking about who are the best summer league teams, I said Toronto, the Celtics, the Cavs, the Mavs, the Grizzlies. The Clippers have shown to be really good, and the Spurs have shown to be really good. And then that last team that made it in that had a first-round bye were the Nets. All real good summer league teams. So we'll talk about them in a minute. Solid summer league teams from them. We'll talk about some of the more mediocre summer league teams that are going to have to play a game before they get to the second round of the playoffs. And so the first matchup is the Chicago Bulls and Portland Trailblazers. When we talk about these 2 teams, Chicago obviously is struggling with the fact that, losing Jimmy Butler. They did get, Levine and they got Dunn, but those 2 guys are honestly too old to be playing in summer league, so they can't help them out summer league wise. And Antonio Blankley has been really good. He's averaging 13 points a game on 23 minutes for them in the summer league. Some other guys that has done good. Cameron Payne, 11 points. He does have 3.5 turnovers. He's averaging that many turnovers. But he has 11.5 points. He's going to be a guy that's going to get to play some more time this year for the Bulls, who traded away Jimmy Butler. Chris Dunn had 11 in one of those games. We only played one game. Denzel Valentine, he's averaging 10. He hadn't done bad. Laurie Markkanen's honestly really struggled. I think he's getting acclimated to the game though. He's averaging the most points on the team with 14, and most rebounds too with 9. But he's playing 32 minutes a game. He should be doing that. Some other notable names on here: Ryan Arcidiacono. Ain't doing a whole lot. Paul Zipser's averaging 10 points a game. He got some good NBA action last year. That's Bulls. And they're playing the Blazers, and the Blazers, they've got some good players on their team. R.J. Hunter is someone that they have. R.J. Hunter's averaging 9.7 a game. Pat Connaughton has started to show some promise later. Jake Layman's only averaging 7 points a game. He showed some promise, though. He's a young player. Zach Collins has really struggled. He's a really young guy. I think he'll be ready in a couple years. He's only got 6 points a game, 5 rebounds. Caleb Swanigan has shown that he's going to be a top dog in this league. 15 points, 11 rebounds. He's been one of the standouts of the summer league thus far. Jordan Adams and Jarnell Stokes, 9 points and 8 points respectively. Two guys that came over from Memphis. Adams is actually on the Trailblazers now. Stokes may just be playing with the Trailblazers for the Las Vegas Summer League. Nick Johnson, another guy that struggled a little bit, 4.7 points. Marco Brown, 7 points. Josh Scott, another guy that a good player, only averaging 3. And then Antonius Cleveland, a guard. He had a pretty good dunk yesterday, only averaging 4. This isn't a bad team. But main guys on this team: Zach Collins, Caleb Swanigan, R.J. Hunter, Nick Johnson. Some of the guys that you should be watching to see if they'll make the NBA team this year. And then next match. So, and I've got. I have not liked what I've seen out of the Bulls this far, and I hadn't really liked what I saw about the Blazers either. But I like the Blazers to win the game, and they'll be playing the Raptors. Raptors look really good. They got Van Fleet. Van Fleet looks like a steal, and then they have young players that I like: Troy Copain. Cole Huff, Kennedy Meeks. Kennedy Meeks averaging 13 points a game and 6 rebounds. Real good from him. He went undrafted. Pascal Siakam averaging 18.3 and 5 rebounds. I knew this guy was going to be really good when they drafted him. He played at New Mexico State. He's just real lanky, and he's going to be a real good player for the Raptors in the future. Michael Mulder from Kentucky, he struggled a bit. And then Jacob Poeltl and Van Fleet have been the other two guys that have been really good for them, averaging 14.7 both. And then Van Fleet's averaging almost 6 assists a game, and Poeltl's averaging 10 rebounds a game. Jordan Lloyd, he was playing at what was it called? The Pacers Summer League team in Orlando, and he's came over. He's averaging 7.5 points a game, and then Alfonso McKinney averaging 7 rebounds and 8 points. He's had a pretty good league. He played at Wisconsin and Green Bay. They also have OG Anunoby, but obviously OG Anunoby isn't playing because of the knee injury that he sustained during the regular season. I definitely see the Raptors winning that matchup and advancing to the quarterfinals on July 15th. Next matchup, Hawks and Pelicans. Tyler Dorsey went down with an ankle injury or something yesterday. Ryan Kelly's been real good in his time in the summer league. I mean, this is his 4th year in the NBA, so he should be ready 10 points, 4 rebounds a game. He's showing good heart. Nate Britt is a guy I hadn't seen a lot of, but he plays for the Hawks. Tyler Kavanaugh, another guy that played at George Washington, good player. Taurean Prince, he struggled at times this year, but he did get to play in the playoffs last year. He's averaging 11.5 here. He had one good game. He hadn't played as good lately. DeAndre Bembry has played really good. He's a guy that I've always been real high on. He's averaging 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's one of those guys that one of the only guys that I've seen out here that's getting rebounds, that's getting assists, getting steals, getting points. He's filling the board up across the way. He's averaging 3.3 assists a game, 3.3 steals a game, but he is averaging 3.5 or 3.3 turnovers also. Bembry's a guy to watch with the Hawks kind of in rebuild mode. I think he's a guy that'll be good for the team this next year. John Collins averaging 15 points and 10 rebounds. He's thrown some monster slams down. He's been a good player for them also. I'd watch him during the year too, John Collins. John Collins is someone I've been high on for a while though. Diamond Stone just recently got traded to the Hawks, and he's averaging 11 and 5 for them. I like Stone. Watch Stone this year to maybe make the roster. This is honestly a pretty good Hawks team. I think they struggled the first couple of games just getting acclimated. But this is a team I think will definitely beat the Pelicans. The Pelicans really struggle in the sense they don't have a lot of good scorers. Cheick Diallo and Quinn Cook have been mainly their team. Quinn Cook averaging the 20 points a game with 3 assists, 3.7 rebounds. Cheick Diallo, 19 points, 9 rebounds. This has been mainly their offense, these two guys. Jalen Jones is playing for them. He's got 7 points. He went to A&M a couple years back. Frank Jackson isn't getting to play, their first-round pick. Axel Toupane, a guy that came from overseas, averaging 5.3, not that great of a score. James Young is playing for the Pelicans in the Summer League. I think I think he still is on the Celtics though. He may not be. He may or may not be. He's averaging 7.3. That's all right. This is his third or fourth year in the league, and he hadn't really shown the steps to get there. So I think it's good that he's playing in the Summer League, but at the same time, I feel like he should be one of the guys averaging a lot more. Peter Jok is someone that a lot of people are high on. I was always high on Peter Jok. He hadn't really done a lot in Summer League. Jordan Matthews hadn't got to play. Royce O'Neal's got to play a little bit, averaging 4 points a game. Jordan Crawford, they have him on the roster, but he's an older player that I wouldn't see him playing in Summer League. So Pelicans basically have Cook and Diallo. Isaiah Cousins has came on late. He's played better late. But I don't see this team doing a whole lot, making a whole lot of noise. So then waiting for these two teams is the Spurs. Bryn Forbes has been an absolute monster in Summer League. He's averaging 29.3 points a game. He had 2 games in a row where he had 35. Ben Bentel hadn't got to play a lot. A guy I like. Derek White, a guy I like. He's averaging 10 points a game here at Summer League. I like Derek White. Gerard Boston game has kind of struggled at times shooting, but he's got averaging 4 points, 4 rebounds. He's got to play a lot. DeJounte Murray, he really didn't impress me the first couple of days. I would think that he'd be more of a dominant scorer than he has been. Only he does fill up the stat sheet: 6 rebounds, 3 assists, but 6.5 points. He really hadn't been. He averaged 4.5 turnovers in Summer League. I feel like this is a guy that needs to continue to play in Summer League. Get experience. I know he did play in the Western Conference Finals last year and did get good experience that way. But I think he's a guy that needs to continue to play. If anything, sit Forbes down. Forbes has been awesome. You know what you're getting out of Forbes. And then Shane Whittington, a big man out of Western Michigan. He's averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds. Corey Jefferson, 9 points, 5 rebounds out of Baylor. Cleanthony Early out of Wichita State a couple years back hadn't got to play a whole lot. He ain't doing a whole lot stat-wise. David Burton's a good 3-point shooter for them, averaging 2.3 rebounds and 10 points, not bad. And Oliver Halan from Boston College a couple years back, or maybe 1 or 2. I'm not. He's averaging 9.7, 2 rebounds, almost three rebounds. Not a bad team, good team. Bryn Forbes is really leading the team. They got some other good shooters on it. I see this being a good game between the Spurs and the Hawks. I see the Spurs probably winning though, just coaching wise. Next matchup is Wizards, Wizards and Heat. Heat. We talked about the Heat already a little bit. Their team is similar. They added Trey McKinney-Jones, and he's got 9.7 points, 4 rebounds. He's done pretty good. Oracle White has 15 points a game over here. Bam Adebayo, 15 points a game, 8 rebounds. He's done pretty good. Matt Williams out of UCF, 10 points a game. London Parentheses, 10 points a game, 5 assists. And Gian Clavet from Colorado State, real good young point guard, 9 points a game, 3 rebounds. And then Zach Augustine averaging 10 points a game, 5 rebounds. This isn't a bad team. Wizards kind of will get really cold at times. They really have only one good scorer, and that is I guess they have 2 good scorers. Jared Cunningham's averaging 21 points a game. Sheldon Mack averaging 15 points a game. Those are their best scorers on the team. Malik Wayne, 6.5 points a game. Chris McCullough, 7 rebounds, 8 points a game. Not bad. Daniel Ochefu, 7 rebounds and 9 points a game. Not terrible. And then Pango, 7 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. He's been solid as a guard. Marcus Keene, leading scorer in the nation out of Central Michigan, 7.5 points a game. He's only playing 13 minutes a game. Chris Jenkins, 5 points, 2 rebounds yesterday. I'm not real high on him. Isaac Humphries and Jason Hannibal and Ian Baker hadn't really got any playing time. Ian Baker's a good player. So honestly, I don't like their team that much other than Jared Cunningham and Sheldon Mack. And Cunningham's an older guy. He played in the Chinese league last year, averaged 34 points. I got the Heat winning the game, and that Heat will play the Clippers. I think this will be a good big man matchup between Bryce Johnson and Bam Adebayo. Montrezl Harrell has played 1 game of summer league. He had 21 points in his game. He had some NBA action last year. He looks good. Then let's see here. Sandarius Thornwell has looked really good. I knew that he would look good though. He's one of the older players. He's more ready to make an impact now. 4 rebounds and assists, and then 1.7 steals a game, 16 points a game. He's done pretty good. Kendall Marshall's been Kendall Marshall, 5 points, 8 assists. Hollis Thompson's averaging 10 points a game. He's an older player. I don't really know why he's here. Jamel Wilson has been a surprise, 14 points a game, 6 rebounds. He's been lights out. He's shooting 81% from the field. Bryce Johnson, 14 points a game, 5 rebounds. I like what I've seen out of him. I think he's going to make an impact this year on the NBA team. Isaiah Hicks has shown a little bit of promise, 2 rebounds, 6.3 points. Juwan Evans, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and then averaging 6 points a game. I think he's showing some promise. Jamel Warney's on this team too. He hadn't really got to play that much. He played a lot more for the summer league in Dallas. I'm going to take the Heat to win this as more of an upset over the Clippers. I think they'll beat the Clippers. Next game is Suns versus Jazz. I like the Donovan Mitchell, Josh Jackson matchup. I don't know if they'll definitely necessarily be matched up, but 2 good players matched up against each other. Mike James has had a great summer league for the Suns. He's averaging 16 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Really good summer league from this little guy from overseas. I like what I've seen out of him. I'd like to see him make a team. David Stockton on his team. Hadn't got to see a lot of David Stockton. Christian Wood is playing for them. He was playing for Mavs Summer League team in Orlando. Dragon Bender averaging 11 and 6 this Summer League. Marquise Chris was a guy that played a lot of time last year, averaging 8.7 rebounds, and 19 points. He's definitely ready. He was playing at the NBA level last year. I don't really see why he's even playing in the summer league this year. Josh Jackson and Devon Reed, their 2 draft picks, have been really good. Josh Jackson, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal a game, and then 17 points a game. Leads second on the team in points scored. And then Devon Reed, averaging 4 assists or 4 points, 1.3 steal, and then 13 points a game. I like Devon Reed also for the Suns. Suns have a promising, summer league team. It'll just see how, deep they can get into the tournament. And they'll be playing the Jazz in the first round. So the Jazz, when they had Dante Exum in the Utah Summer League, they played a little bit better. Tyrone Wallace has shown promise. I like Tyrone Wallace, point guard out of Cal, pretty big guy. He's only averaging 3.5 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals. Donovan Mitchell was averaging 28 points a game. He shoots a lot, though. He's only shooting 36% from the field, which isn't good. But, he looks like a good player. He plays good defense. He averages 6 steals a game, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's how much he's averaging. Tony Bradley, he didn't get a lot of playing time at North Carolina. He's played good in the Summer League, 5.7 rebounds, 10 points. William Goss has struggled just to transition to the new league, 4 points, 3.7 assists, 2 rebounds. Some other guys on this team, Eric Griffin, an older guy, he's averaging 7 points, 8 rebounds. Travis Leslie, 8 points, 7 rebounds. And that's a lot of the Utah. Utah doesn't have that deep of a team. But, I see them losing to the Suns, and then the Suns having to play the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are one of the more talented summer league teams, with adding, Kobe Simmons and then adding Dylan Brooks. Those 2 guys have honestly had some pretty good summer leagues. Wes Washburn's a guy that I like. He hadn't got to play at all out of Northern Iowa. Ivan Rabb hadn't played at all. Dylan Brooks averaging 12 points a game, 3.7 rebounds. Kobe Simmons only averaging 5.3 points a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. But, he's shown some good promise. Wayne Selden has been a monster in Summer League for them, hit a lot of clutch shots, averaging 22 points a game, almost 5 rebounds, almost 3 assists, 2.3 steals. Deontay Davis has struggled this year, only 3 points, 8 rebounds. He's a young guy, though. Wade Baldwin's played really good. It reminds me of Westbrook a lot, 6.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 15.3 points a game. Jarrell Martin is a guy that's been injured in the Summer League the last 2 seasons, so he hadn't got to showcase himself, but a really good prospect. 8 rebounds, 14.3 points. And that kind of rounds out the Grizzlies Summer League team, most of the top guys. I see the Grizzlies, advancing to play the Heat in the quarterfinals. So that's the top half of the bracket. Like I said, so in the quarterfinals in the top half of the bracket, I have the Raptors playing the Spurs and the Heat playing the Grizzlies. In the bottom half of the bracket, Sacramento plays the Bucks. Sacramento's got a real good Summer League team. Buddy Hield, Sky Labrizier, Luis Montero, Malak Richardson, De'Aaron Fox, Justin Jackson, Frank Mason, all solid players. Naz Long has struggled, only 3 points a game. And then Jakari Sampson has averaged 6.5 points a game, 3.5 rebounds. Jack Cooley, 7.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, not bad from him. And then Buddy Hield's averaging 16.7 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, pretty good from him. Skylar Brazier, 8 points, 4 rebounds, kind of down, but he's not. I think he'll be better during the NBA season. Malak Richardson, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Papagiannis, 7.7 rebounds. Fox is got 15 points a game, 3 steals, 2.7 steals, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. and committing 2.7 turnovers a game. Pretty good from Fox. Justin Jackson has shot a lot, only shooting 40% 40% from the field, only 2.3 rebounds. He needs to, sustain himself more. He's a big guy, but 12.7 points, but he's shooting a lot. So, we'll see how he improves throughout the year. Frank Mason didn't play that good the first game or so, but he played really good the last game and had 24 points. He's averaging 11 points on the year, 3.3 assists, 4 rebounds. And then they're playing the Bucks. Bucks have an all right roster. Rashad Vaughn's honestly been the best player for them. Thon Maker has been good at times. He hadn't filled up the stat sheet or anything. 6 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3 turnovers. Gary Payton Jr. has shown promise. Good defensive player, averaging 2.5 steals a game, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. DJ Wilson, their first-round pick, shooting 43% from the field, 14 points. 2.3 assists, 6.3 rebounds. I think this is going to be a solid player. Sterling Brown, another solid player. I think 10 points, 4.3 rebounds, one assist a game. I like both of these guys that they drafted. Travis Trice has been good. 2 points or 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2.7 assists. Rashad Vaughn has probably been their best player, averaging 21 points a game, 4 rebounds. And then Reggie Upshaw's struggled. He played at Middle Tennessee. Let's see who else. Jaquan Moore's played a little bit. Jaquan Lewis, he struggled a little bit. Bronson Koenig, 4 points a game. That's mainly what he's done. So this is not a bad team. Like I said, Rashad Vaughn, Thon Maker, DJ Wilson, some of their better players, some of their prospects for the NBA team. I do see the Kings winning this game, playing the Mavericks, setting up the matchup between Dennis Smith Jr. and De'Aaron Fox. I think that'll be a fun matchup. Dennis Smith has been one of the most outstanding rookies. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2.3 steals, 18.3 points. Really good from Dennis Smith. He's been a steal in the draft that he dropped to 9. He is averaging three turnovers a game. Motley, 3 rebounds, 5 points. Not real big on the stat sheet wise, but he's a good player. Then Dorian Finney-Smith doesn't fill up a stat sheet, but a good player. 6 rebounds, 5.7 points. Yogi Ferrell's here, 15 points a game, 3.7 assists, 3.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 3 steals a game from Yogi. Brandon Ashley's had some good games, 14 points, only averaging 3.3 rebounds though. Ding, 5 points a game, 2.7 rebounds. He just plays real hard. And then they have Torian Graham from Arizona State. He ain't got to play much. Josh Adams also, and he played at Wyoming. He showed some promise. Only 5 points and a rebound a game though, and a steal, averaging 2 turnovers. I like the Mavs. Mavs are one of the like I said, one of the better summer league teams. I see them to advance against the Kings. Next game is the Warriors and the T-Wolves. These are 2 teams that are really starting to strive in the NBA. I think T-Wolves will start to be a playoff team this year. And so at the same time, when you have a good playoff team or you're really striving that way, you're going to have a shitty D-League team or G-League team. Jack Gibbs has been good, 9 points, 2.3 assists. Emil Jefferson hadn't been that great. He's a name, though. Moses Kingsley hadn't been great. Deontay Burton, only 2 points, 2.7 rebounds, hadn't been great. I seen him play a little bit. And then, Perry Ellis has got a good amount of playing time, 4.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 10 points a game. Marcus Page, 14 points a game, 4 assists. He's been the best player for the T-Wolves. Matt Costello's been honestly a surprise. He's averaging 12 rebounds, 10 points a game, 2.3 assists, 1.7 steal. He's been really good for the T-Wolves. He's trying to find him a spot. And then Charles Cook out of Dayton, a player I really like, 2.3 rebounds, 9.7 points. Beecham hadn't really made that much of an impact, but he was a good player at Notre Dame. This isn't a great D-League team, just like the Warriors don't have a great D-League team. best player on the team for the Warriors is going to be what's his name? Patrick McCaw. And he's the guy that played with the team in the NBA, so he's got that extra experience. 3.3 rebounds, 2 assists a game, and then 18 points. Elgin Cook, a guy from Oregon, averaging 5 points a game. Damian Jones, the draft pick they had last year, 9.3 points a game, 5 rebounds, not bad from him. Jordan Bell, a promising young guy that they drafted this year, 7.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 2 steals, 2.7 blocks, 5 points. He's going to be a solid player. Kevin Looney, a guy they drafted a couple years back, 8 rebounds, 6.5 assists a game. Jabari Brown averaging 13 points a game, 3.5 rebounds. He's been a good scorer. Dylan Ennis, 6 points a game. He's one of the older guys. Ja'Cory Williams is one of my favorite players, averaging 5 and 2. 5 points, 2 rebounds. Guy out of Middle Tennessee I really liked. John Rahone, hadn't got to play a lot. Guard from St. Mary's. Chris Boucher has been hurt. He's on the summer league team. Bryce Alford got to play a little bit last night. I saw 5.3 points, 2.0 rebounds. Not a terrible team, but not a great team. I don't really get excited about who wins between Minnesota or the Warriors. I think they're going to lose in the next round to the Celtics. Celtics look really good with. I think Jaylen Brown should go ahead and go home. He hadn't done like a whole he hadn't been just showing out, just been doing amazing. But I think he's done good enough where they should go ahead and send him home. He's only shooting 30% from the field, which isn't good. But I think Jaylen Brown will end up being a good player for them, averaging 10 points a game, 5.3 rebounds. Abdel Nader had a real good year last year, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 14 points this year in the summer league. Jason Tatum has been probably the most dominant rookie thus far in the sense of just across the board. 8 rebounds and then 17.7 points a game. He's played really good. Similai Ojale has surprised a lot of people. I knew he would be good though. 4 points, almost 2 assists, and 12 points a game. Pretty good team from them. Kadeem Allen's got to play a little bit. Jabari Bird averaging 9 points a game. Layden Lucas, 3 points a game. Ante Zinik, 7 points a game, 8 rebounds. Demetrius Jackson has been pretty good, 9 points a game, 4 assists, almost 3 rebounds. This is a pretty good team from the Celtics, with Brown and Tatum. I see them winning and then going on to the quarterfinals to play Dallas. And then the bottom half of the bracket, Denver and Houston, they already played once. They played in a real close game. Houston won. Basically, it's going to be Troy Williams versus Malik Beasley, whoever scores more. Troy Williams has been awesome, 25.7 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1.7 steals. Other than that, Chris Johnson's been good. He's a guy who played in another summer league in Orlando. He's averaging 11 points a game, 6.3 rebounds. Matt Jones from Duke. Probably played a little bit, 7 points a game. The Chinese guy, Zhu Q, 7 points a game, 4 rebounds. He had a really good first game. He struggled the last couple of games. Ray McCall, 8 points a game. Onoaku, 6 points a game, 7 rebounds. I think he played at Louisville. Tim Quarterman, 6 points a game. He played at LSU a couple years back. Isaiah Taylor's been the other guy that's been really good for the Rockets. Good ball handler, 8 assists a game, and then 14 points. Been really good. Only 1 turnover. I like that. Isaiah Hartstein is the guy they drafted, 5 points a game, 3 rebounds. Cameron Oliver, 4.7 rebounds, 5.3 points. He's been a good pickup from Nevada. And then LJ Peak from Georgetown, averaging 5 points a game. Not a bad Rockets Summer League team. We'll see what kind of noise they make. Nuggets lost a lot of their games. They lost a lot of close games too, though. Monte Morris, real good point guard. I really like him a lot. Averaging 3.7 assists, 6.7 points. Leiden, is another good young player, only averaging 3.3 points, 3.3 rebounds. Juan Horch Nagonia, second best player on this team, averaging 7.3 assists, 16.3 points. Malik Beasley has been the best scorer on this team, 22 points. He is shooting 41% from the field, 40 from three-point, 4.7 rebounds, and then 22 points. Like I said, I like Malik Beasley. He's only like 20 years old. He's showing a lot of good promise. Henry Sims, an older guy, 4.5 rebounds, 10.5 points a game. Other than that, Robert Carter Jr. from Maryland, 11 points a game and 4.7 rebounds. He came out like a year or so ago, he's done pretty good for them. So that's the Nuggets team. Nuggets aren't great. Basically it's Hertz Nagonia and Malik Beasley. But it's kind of the same for the Rockets. The Rockets don't have a whole lot more than Troy Williams and maybe Isaiah Taylor and Chris Johnson. So this is a good matchup. This will be a good game to watch today between them. I think the Nuggets will actually come out on top. I don't know why. I'm just feeling like the Nuggets are going to win. And they're going to go on to play the Nets. The Nets have, honestly, they have a lot of their NBA players on this team. When you talk about, Caris LeVert, 15 points a game, 7 rebounds. They've got Archie Goodwin on the team, 12 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Spencer Dinwiddie, he's a guy that's going to be on the team, 7.7 points. He's not averaging high assists or rebounds. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson is probably their most all-around player, 8.7 points a game, 8.7 rebounds. Real good player. Isaiah Whitehead, 12 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, another good player. They have Jared Allen, who hasn't got to play. Prince Iba has played a little bit. Kamari Murphy, some other names. Rodney Pryor out of Georgetown. But those guys that I kind of named, those guys are going to be on the roster, and they're pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nets, won a couple games in the Summer League tournament. But I got them slated to play the Nuggets in the second round after their first round bye. And then my last two teams, we don't know if Lonzo Ball will be playing, and we know Fultz won't be playing. But Sixers versus Lakers is the matchup. Vanderbilt been real good for the Lakers. 3.3 assists, or 3.3 rebounds, 11.3 points a game. Travis Ware, 7 points a game, 3.3 rebounds. Brandon Ingram only played one game. He had 26 points, 3 assists. He was real good. 3 steals. He won't play anymore. Ivica Zubac, 7 points, 2 rebounds. And then Caruso, 7 points, 3.7 assists, 2 rebounds. Pretty good from him, 1.7 steals. David Nwaba, 9.7 points a game, 2 assists, 6 rebounds. Pretty good from him. Gabe York, 8 points. Lonzo Ball, 8 points, 8 assists, 7.5 rebounds. Pretty solid across the board from him in the 2 games or so that he played. Kyle Kuzma, 20 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. I really like Kuzma. Kuzma was a steal at 27. Josh Hart, 10 points a game, 4 rebounds. I think Josh Hart will end up being a pretty good player. Dozier hadn't got to play a lot. He got hurt yesterday, or the game that he's playing. Thomas Bryant has looked good too, 7 points a game, 4 rebounds. I like Thomas Bryant also. I think he was a good pick. Matt Thomas hadn't got to play at all. Good 3-point shooter from Iowa State. And then the last team, the Sixers. Sixers team is pretty garbage without Fultz. Brandon Austin has been a good player for them. He's had some good dunks, a good 3-point shooter, averaging 7.3 points a game, 2.3 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.3 steals. James Blackman out of Indiana, 7 points a game, 3 steals, 2 rebounds, not bad. Isaiah Briscoe hadn't got to do a whole lot. I see him being a G League player, but eventually being in the NBA, 2.5 points a game. Isaiah Miles, one of my favorite players out of St. Joe's, him and Bembry, made it to like the second round of the NCAA tournament. I love watching them 2 years ago. 7 points, 4 rebounds. Hopefully he can make a spot. Melo Trimble averaging 13 points a game and 1 board, 2 steals. He had a pretty good game. He's shooting 50% from the field. We'll see what he can do. Larry Drew the second, 7 points a game, 1.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, pretty good point guard, 2 steals also. Aaron Harrison, brother of Andrew Harrison, 11 points a game, 2.7 rebounds. And then some other guys, Furkan Korkmaz, 10 points a game, 2.7 rebounds, 1.3 assists. Pretty good player, foreign player. Timothy Lawalu Kabalt got hurt a couple of nights ago. I had to get some stitches on his lip. 11.5 points a game, 4.4 rebounds, 2.0 assists. Really like this kid. He's a good shooter. Alex Poitras has been showing some promise. 10 points a game, 3.3 rebounds. He's done good. He came from Kentucky a couple years back. Caleb Tarczewski, 6 points, 4 rebounds. A big guy from Arizona that was good while he was there. Fultz averaging 8 and 2 in the Las Vegas Summer League. Not great, but he's a good player. And then Jonah Bolden is another guy, 10.3 points a game, 7.3 rebounds. He's shown some good promise, 1.7 steals. I like him. They drafted him this year. He was playing overseas, though, last year. So that completes my, prediction for it. Other than, so at the quarterfinals, I've got I didn't talk about the Cavs. Let me talk about the Cavs real quick. Cavs have a really good summer league team, which is surprising since they have such a good team in the regular season. And maybe it's because they have all those old guys on the starting team, and then these younger guys are playing on the G League team. But Sam Cassell Jr., 6.3 points a game. He's going to be a good player. Andrew White, 5.7 points out of Syracuse. TJ Williams, he's averaging 10 points a game, 2.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists. Anthony Gill from Virginia a couple years back, 10 points a game, 7.7 rebounds. He's done really good. Brandon Paul has been their best scorer, 14 points a game, 2.3 assists, 5.0 rebounds. Eddie Tavares has shown some promise, 5 rebounds, 7 points a game, 2.7 blocks. Casey Prather, good defensive presence, 8.7 points a game, 2.3 rebounds. Sir Dominic Pointer, 7.5 points a game, 3 rebounds. Kay Fielder has probably been their most dominant player, 4.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists, a steal a game, only averaging 2 turnovers and 12.7 points. Roosevelt Jones, he hadn't got to play a lot. Really like him out of Butler a couple years back. 5.7 rebounds, only averaging 1.7 points a game though. I look for the Cavs to advance against whoever they have to play. I see them probably playing the Lakers, but I see the Cavs advancing. I see the Nuggets beating the Nets. So then in the quarterfinals, the Nuggets and the Cavs will be playing. I have the Cavs advancing. Boston and Dallas in the quarterfinals. I've got the Mavericks advancing. Mavericks playing the Cavs. I have the Cavs advancing to the finals. Memphis versus Miami. I have Memphis winning that game. Toronto versus the Spurs. I have the Spurs winning that game. Spurs versus Grizzlies in the semifinals. I have Wayne Selden taking over Bryn Forbes, and then I have Memphis and the Cavs in the finals. And I see Memphis winning the finals. I just think they have a really good team with Wayne Selden and what's the other guy's name? Wayne Selden and Wade Baldwin. I think those two guys are just some solid guys. They got good big men, and Deontay Davis, Russ or Kobe Simmons is another good player. So we'll see, what happens with them. But the Grizzlies are my team to win right now. They're my projected team to win. Jarrell Martin, don't forget about him. Another good guy. We'll see if Ivan Rabb can play any. Wes Washburn, but yeah, I like the Grizzlies. I like the Cavs. Those are 2 teams that I project to play in the championship game of the Summer League Finals. Hope you enjoyed.